The Republic of the Marshall Islands is experiencing one of the clearest cruelties of a warming planet. Along with shrinking coastlines, natural disasters are hitting the islands over and over again. These remote Pacific islands likely won't exist if the planet warms to that all-important threshold of 2 degrees. I'm joined by Tamara Greenstone Alafayo, a Vancouverite who has lived in the Marshall Islands for over a decade now. Now, you're back here in Vancouver for grad school. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
A lot of these pictures that I'm going to be showing are your pictures. What has it been like to witness the devastation of climate change firsthand?
It's scary. The Marshall Islands, the islands are very thin, so anytime there's an inundation or any waves like this, we're only a few meters away from it. This is the end of my street.
Wow.
It's saddening too. I'm not from the Marshall Islands, but I care very deeply about the people on the islands, and it's quite heartbreaking to experience it. Yeah, we had a storm last summer. We had a typhoon that actually I was there for, and it was very scary. Boats in the lagoon were coming up on land, and it was pretty scary, and you have nowhere to go.
How do people take a doomsday forecast like this for the home that they live in?
People talk about it. Climate change permeates life. You know, when you're living in the Pacific in low-lying atolls, it's probably why there's so much activism, so much voice coming out of the Pacific, because we are, as the Minister of Foreign Affairs once said, we're the canary in the coal mine, you know. And I don't know anybody that's said to me, I'm leaving because of climate change per se, but I mean, you just have to look around and see what's happening, and I'm sure that there are people who have that in their mind. There's a whole island of people who are petitioning to leave because their island is so inundated so often. And prior to the islands actually being submerged, you know, they'll be uninhabitable before that time.
When the Paris talks happen, what do you hope will come out of it for the islands?
Personally, I hope that we can come to a binding, universal, global agreement. But I think that what's also important is what's happening around the negotiations and outside. I feel that the global community is at a tipping point. I think there's so much activism and so many people are paying attention now that I hope that Paris just continues to highlight that. And I also hope that it's not the end. Paris is something we've been waiting for, but this agreement's only to 2030. You know, it needs to really be another step along the path towards saving our world.
Tamara, thank you very much for talking to me today.
Thank you.